All right, you can go.
It's live?
Yeah.
Recording. So Yeshua, who they call Jesus, was telling you, the nations are corrupt. They sleep within the arms of death, and they must be aroused before it is too late. In life, we find antagonists at work. Allah sent me here to stir its depths, the waters of the sea of life. So to inspire you to fight for what's yours. In order for you to to be inspired to fight. Oh look, he has the red feather with the white tassel. Imagine that. In order for you to be inspired to fight, you have to know first what's yours, then know the laws that protect you and your claim as to what's yours. Otherwise, you wouldn't be inspired. If you don't know, you wouldn't be inspired. Which this man said, my people perish by the day for the lack of knowledge. Peace. So you have to be informed. Peace follows strife. I come to slay this piece of earth. He's talking about that inactivity. He's talking about us not fighting back. He came to stop that, to put an end to that. The Prince of Peace must first be the Prince of Strife. This leaven of truth, which I have brought to men, will stir the demons up, and nations, cities, families will be at peace with themselves. This leaven of truth, which I have brought to men, will stir the demons up, and nations, cities, families will be at peace with themselves. The five that have been dwelling in a home in peace will be divided not, and two shall war against three. The son will stand against his sire, the mother and daughter will contend. Yea, strife will reign in every home. Then self and greed and doubt will rage into a fever heat. And then, because of me, the earth will be baptized in human blood. War. Because they are waging war against us. Right now, we're not fighting back. Well, we are. Us specifically, we are fighting back. That's why you're here. But a lot of people aren't. So in order to get nature back on its correct path, it has to be baptized in blood. As an example, nature. Before spring can happen, what has to come? Winter.
Cold.
Which winter destroys everything. Right? So it's baptized in the death of plants and insects. Then what happens in spring? Rebirth. So peace always follows strife. It has to. So, in order for us to be corrected back on this path, war has to come. It's not, right now isn't the time where we're ready to fight back physically. Right now is where we prepare, which pre means before, prepare means to make ready. So we're making ready before it happens. This is what we have to do. That's why you see guns, bulletproof vests, because I know what's coming. It's been written before I was even born. So, because of me, the earth will be baptized in human blood. But right is king. And when the smoke is cleared away, the nations will learn war no more. The Prince of Peace will come to reign. Behold, the signs of what I say are in the sky, but men can see them not. Carnal men, which is why I brought up earlier, women, pay attention to what you feel, because you can't see that. You can't see it, but you can feel it, which is part of seeing. You can't see it with your eyes, but you can feel it with your body. That's prophecy. So, carnal men who think on a lower vibrational stuff like, you know, what's this sport team doing today? What's Cardi B wearing today? Those people can't see anything. Yes.
So when you bring up the peace and bring up the water, what it signifies to you when it comes down to peace?
Oh, Yeshua already said it. He said, stagnant water is peaceful, but it creates death. He's here to stir up the water, to get the water moving again, which means we have to start fighting. Then he said, we will be baptized in blood, which means there's going to be a physical war, which Noble Drew Ali already said that before that great and awful day that is sure to come. It's sure to come. We can't avoid it. All we can do is prepare for it. How do we prepare for it? The men that are willing to fight, bear arms. The women that are willing to be nurses, be nurses. The women that are willing to fight, bear arms.
I was going to say that. What about nursing?
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. The men and women that are willing to be spies, start practicing now. Right? The people that are gonna do whatever it is that you're here to do, practice now, so that when it comes, you're ready. And if you're not alive during that coming, you taught your children how to do it, so that they can assist. That's what's supposed to be taking place right now. People are supposed to be preparing. But what's happening is a lot of people just want to be in charge instead of taking their place. I'm not in charge of anything. So don't ever think that I'm in charge just because I'm up here speaking. I have a message and I'm trying to give that message, and that is it. So, back to Yeshua and his prophecy. Lo, behold, the signs of what I say are in the sky, but men can see them not. When men behold a cloud rise in the west, they say a shower of rain will come. And so it does. And when the wind blows from the south, they say the weather will be hot. And it is so. Lo, men can read the signs of earth and sky, but they cannot discern the signs of the holy breath. But you shall know. The storms of wrath come on. Pay attention. The carnal men will seek a cause to hale you into court and cast you into prison cells. And when these times shall come, let wisdom guide. Do not resent. And I'm telling you right now, if I was to do what I wanted to do, it would be terrible. Instead, I'm heeding these words, I'm using wisdom, and I'm approaching it a different way. Do not resent. Resentment makes more stronger the wrath of evil men. There is little sense of justice and of mercy in the vilest men of earth. By taking heed to what you do and say, and trusting in the guidance of the holy breath, you may inspire this sense to grow. You thus make the wrath of men to praise Allah. And Yeshua went his way and came onto Bethsaida and taught. I need your phone real fast, because I need to see what I was supposed to read next. So that is very happening right now. Yeah. Thanks. The next thing I want to read. I wrote in my notes to place emphasis on wisdom and watching your actions, because I personally have a bunch of arms, and this could have escalated. I could have escalated things, and I'm choosing not to, because that's what we're supposed to do, right? Because like Noble Drew Ali said, in the things I just read, we're for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So I'm starting with love. Now I'm giving you the truth, right? So now I'm going to read from the Quran, the Holy Quran. This is the translation and commentary by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, which I think is one of the best books. It's not a version, it's a transliteration, which means he just took the letters from Arabic and put it in English. Someone else's version is, that's not a chair, that's a couch. No, that's a chair, right? So I'm going to start with chapter 8, verse 9 to 15. I might not even read all of it. 8, 9 to 15. Remember, ye implored the assistance of your Lord, and he answered you, I will assist you with 1,000 of the angels ranks on ranks. And when I asked for help to get out, a lot of people were supporting. Allah made it but a message of hope and an assurance to your hearts that there is no help except from Allah, and Allah is exalted in power and wise. Remember, He covered you with a sort of drowsiness to give you calm as from Himself, and He caused rain to descend on you from heaven, to clean you therewith, to remove from you the stain of Satan, to strengthen your hearts, and to plant your feet firmly therewith, which when I was in the cell, I forced myself to sleep, so I wouldn't have to deal with the energy that they were pumping into that room. So, you know, you may not be in this situation, but I still suggest you read this book, so when you're in that situation, you can reflect on, okay, I'm in this for a reason. And of course, you don't have to read this book. You can read any book, any religious book. Remember, thy Lord inspired the angels. I am with you. Give firmness to the believers. I will instill terror into the hearts of the unbelievers. Smite ye above their necks, and smite all their fingertips off of them. This because they contended against Allah and His messenger. If they contended against Allah and His messenger, Allah is strict in punishment. Thus, will it be said, taste ye then of the punishment for those who resist Allah. It is the penalty of the fire. O ye who believe, when ye meet the unbelievers in hostile array, meaning war, never turn your backs to them. If any, excuse me, that's the end of it. Then in the commentary, it says the laws of spiritual fights are exactly similar to those enforced by military virtue and discipline. Meet your enemy fairly and squarely, not rashly, but after due preparation. Death or victory should be the motto of every soldier. Now remember when Yeshua said, be wise, we're not ready for war. We're not. Which means we have to get ready. The next verse is chapter 8, chapter 8, verse 38 to 39. Say to the unbelievers, if now they detest from unbelieving, their past would be forgiven. Their past would be forgiven them. But if they persist, the punishment of those before them is already a matter of warning for them. And fight with them on until there's no more atonement or oppression, and there prevail justice and faith in Allah, altogether and everywhere. But if they cease, verily, Allah doth see all that they do. Next verse is chapter 8, verse 65. O Prophet, rouse the believers to the fight. Then isn't that what Yeshua just said? He's here to stir the water of peace. To be the Prince of Peace, you must first be the Prince of Strife. I'm giving you the same message. Get ready. I'll read it again. O Prophet, rouse the believers. What does that mean? Inspire them. Rouse the believers to fight. To the fight. Because they know, all of our people know there's something wrong. They just don't know where the fight is. They think it's amongst each other. Oh, well, I'm black and you're Spanish and I don't like you. Oh, it's the black and the brown community. No, we're Moors. We have to fight ignorance. Ignorance is our enemy. Hatred is our enemy. And those who embody that, and those who support that. I was watching a movie, Netflix, The Borgias, and one of the cardinals says, righteousness or good men in the service of evil, do they even deserve the title? No. Because they're serving evil. They're no longer good. So, if there are 20 amongst you, patient in preserving, meaning you're trained, they will vanquish 200.
Say it again. If
there are 20 amongst you, patient in preserving, they will vanquish 200. If 100, they will vanquish 1,000 of the unbelievers. For these are a people without understanding. Next is 8:73. The unbelievers are protectors of one another. The unbelievers are protectors of one another. Unless ye do this, protect each other, there would be torment and oppression on earth and great mischief, which means what? We have to protect each other. Just like when the police show up to your house, 10, 20, 30 of them, we should be living 10, 20, 30 of us who have like minds in the same community, because they're protecting each other, which means you can't attack one of them without all of them showing up. What has been the cycle of our people is you assassinate one, the whole movement's done. That's not how government operates. That's not how any business operates. But that's how they're keeping us. So that way we never rise from any type of any oppression whatsoever. Nice and short. 73. Now, the thing I have to read is this right here. This is from the, how do you say that? Sahih, international version of the Quran. This is chapter 8, verse 56. The ones with whom you made a treaty, but then they break their pledge every time, and they do not fear Allah, and prepare against them whatever you are able of power and of steed by war, of war, by which you may terrify the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others besides them whom you do not know, but whom Allah knows. So he's telling you, get ready for war. You have to. Because we have a treaty with the United States, and they blatantly, knowingly, and intentionally violate that treaty. So those of us who know, it's our job to teach our people who don't know to get them ready. All of you didn't wake up for nothing. And I'm only pointing at them because I know them. They've been coming here for at least a year. So y'all know. Y'all seen it. All of you been to court. You know what it is. And whatever you spend in the cause of Allah will be fully repaid to you, and you will not be wronged. And I remember when I was walking to the store to get bread, and I literally asked Allah and Noble Drew Ali, I said, all those people that donated fiat, give it back to them tenfold to get me out. Give it back to them. It was over $4,000 that Moore's raised to get me and Moreno out. And they deserve that back times 20, 50 million if you ask me. O Prophet, urge the believers to battle, which is what I just read. If there are amongst you 20 who are steadfast, they will overcome 200. And if there are among you 100 who are steadfast, they will overcome 1,000 of those who have disbelieved, because they are people who do not understand. Now Allah has lightened the hardship for you, and He knows that amongst you is weakness. So if there are from you 100 who are steadfast, they will overcome 200. And if there are among you 1,000, they will overcome 2,000 by permission of Allah. And Allah is with the steadfast. Meaning He knows who's who. Meaning you know who you are. Which means you have to make the conscious will to step up. That's why you've always heard me say, your involvement in this movement is based on you. Get in where you fit in. You know you better than I know you. I can't say, you know what, you're good at this, you do it. No, your energy, what you embody will naturally cause you to do that. Naturally. There's nothing I can do to stop that, to change it, to start it, nothing. It's all you. How can there be a treaty while if they gain dominance over you, they do not observe concerning you any pact of kinship or covenant of protection? That's why on the sign it said, who do we call when DCYF is taking our children? That treaty is that agreement of trust where you're supposed to be government. You're supposed to do good by us.
You like that sign, huh?
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
So Allah's telling you, how could there
that's why they
be?
took me to court because of that sign.
Yeah, and I seen you had it at the other protest too.
I did it small. I put the things, and I have the big one.
Yeah.
I said they're not gonna stop me. They hate this sign. I'm putting it right up front, and I put it like this. So even the people from the court will see Beryl.
They satisfy you with their mouths, but their hearts refuse compliance, and most of them are defiantly disobedient. So they always say, well, according to Rhode Island general laws, da 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 da, when they know in their hearts they're doing something wrong. They know it.
That's private law. They shouldn't be doing that.
They know that.
They know it. Because a lot of people just decide to quit working for them because they have told me. I used to work for them. I left because we were forced to lie. And I did not like to lie to people with feeling their pain. They said, I quit.
That's good. That's how you know that they have a good heart and a good soul. Because if you didn't, you'll be like, yeah, I'm just going to stay here. And if they break their oaths after their treaty and defame your religion, then fight the leaders of disbelief. For indeed, there are no oaths sacred to them. Fight them that they may cease. Not each other, them. So, you know, what happens is they put pressure on us. We don't realize it's coming from them, and then we start fighting amongst ourselves. No, it's them. Like when we were supposed to have the meeting before the protest, no one wanted to show up. Why? Because of them. Not because of us. We're going to this event to help you. FBI is investigating us, and now they don't want to show up. That's not our fault.
What protest was it?
For the DCYF, for stealing children.
I totally kidnapping our children.
Would you not fight a people who break their oaths and determine to expel the messenger? And if they had begun the attack upon you the first time, do you fear them? I just got goosebumps. Do you fear them? But Allah has more right that you should fear Him if you are truly believers. That's self-explanatory. Fight them. Allah will punish them by your hands. That's physical. That's physical. You can't keep saying this is a metaphysical, this is just a spiritual. Nah, it's not just spiritual. My spirit is in this flesh, so don't tell me this is not a physical fight. They took my physical body and put it in a cell, so don't tell me this is just a spiritual fight. It is absolutely, positively both. We're not ready for the physical fight, which is why we have to get ready. So again, fight them. Allah will punish them by your hands and will disgrace them and give you victory over them and satisfy the breasts of a believing people, which means your heart. What's in your breast? Your heart. Your heart will be satisfied. If good befalls you, it distresses them. But if disaster strikes you, they say, we took out matter in hand before and turn away while they are rejoicing. And that's it.
Hi.
And without further ado, I would like John Bay to bridge the connection between what I just said. So eloquently, because I already know it's going to be eloquent and precise. It is.
And detailed.
That's still eloquent and precise. Because you can specifically mix certain seasoning and spices into food, and it comes out elegant and precise, so don't even have any type of doubt around here. See?
Islam. That's not mine.
She don't want to say the children. Oh, my bad.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, we having. You want to?
It's gonna be the same thing. Yeah, it stinks. You might just have to hit the reconnect button.
I think she feels comfortable if I'm with her.
So you better walk with the job.
I have it.
So I'm surrounded by kings. I see them, and I always say,
This is my oracle. It's my oracle.
I'm surrounded by kings. And there you go. And you guys have just fulfilled the words of the Most High. I've already started class even before I introduced myself. I just have to say that praise unto my Father, praise unto you, Yeshua, Messiah. Help the words that will come out of my mouth, there will be grace unto you. I offer these words and I offer myself unto them. Open their eyes, open their hearts, open their mind. For in your word you say renew your mind. And every day we should renew our mind. And everything we do say, they be glory unto you, Lord. I trust this and assurance in the name in the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, be in here as we continue this class. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
You can bring the camera up closer. You speak real low.
No, I was giving thanks.
No, I'm just.
I'm loud.
Oh, you're loud?
Oh, you're loud. The listeners need to hear that.
Yeah.
Spirituality.
Oh, it's gone, so I don't know. And next
That's
time.
why. That's how we're trying to get.
That's what we're preparing.
So, salam, brothers and sisters tuning live. My name is Jambi Warero L. And I'm here because last time I challenged the people who do not want to accept the Holy Scriptures as part of the law. So me, I'm here to, for real, I'm standing with the Holy Scriptures. Y'all can come with all the books you want, but this is what I'm going to use, okay? If you have your King James Version, good. If you have your phone apps, get them ready because we are going to dig in. As I said, this is the book of law. It's the book of law of laws. I do not care what anyone will say. Everything is here, right here. Most people don't understand. I've been telling my brothers and the ones around me that this is a war. It's not just a natural war, as Brother Jamal said. It's a spiritual war. And you best believe we are in a spiritual war. We have a lady here. We went to a marching. It's a marching. I would say a marching, a protest actually. I would say a protest marching against DCYF. Brothers and sisters, let me open your eyes. That is a war that they are waging against our children. Right now, y'all need to understand there's a war against our children. Look at these so-called celebrities and everyone else who thinks they're in power. They are enhancing unnatural laws. Laws that were not enhancing the supernatural. Instead, they've been forbidden in the supernatural. And now they've trickled down here in the natural. We are fighting that. We are fighting that. This is a war that was started in heaven. For those of you who do not think that it's there. We are told that the Holy Scriptures is a book of mystery. Yes. What do you understand by the word mystery? It does not reveal everything. No, it reveals. For you have ears, you cannot hear. You have eyes, but you cannot see because we fell from grace. We do not have that immortal stature no more. We are mortal statures. And this is why we have this book. It's an immortal book that's governing us, that's waking you up. You are a mortal being, yes, but you are originally an immortal being because you are from the Most High. He's a spirit, no man, no woman. He has no gender. But yet he calls himself our Father. Only he can explain that. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Mystery. Why? R-Y. R-Y. There you go. I love you. Mom, niece, and Terry. I see that. So, I will go back to, before I dive into the Holy Scriptures, because I do not want people to think that I'm just saying this because it's a Moorish whatever. When I started this class, it came to me. How did it come to me? It's October 17, 2017. It's the day that I celebrate my son's Armstrong. He was turning 3 that day. I was actually waiting for some of his uncles to proceed in the evening so we can celebrate an idol birthday party, because on Saturday it was to have a big party. We don't consume meat, so that was just an intimate party before we include the whole community. On this certain day, something dreadful happened, something really bad happened towards me. And I, being the lioness that I am, I acted the way a lioness would act. There's no way a lioness cowers. It doesn't cower. It goes. It doesn't matter how big, whatever it's facing. I went and I did what I was supposed to do. That led to these so-called troglodytes, Cacoids, Europeans, whichever terminology you want to call them. They violated me. They led me in shackles and chains. And yet I was defending the rights of my son and I. Remember, this is my son's Armstrong. I'm in the jail cell, and just so you know, born and raised by 2 police officers, okay? Born and raised by 2 police officers. They've never thrown me in a jail cell. They've never even threatened to throw me in a jail cell. A DNA of 2 cops is running inside of me, and I have these strangers. I don't know who they are. I can't even tell where they come from. They want to violate my son and I. It's okay, no problem. I'm there crying. I finished crying, but my tears are not coming out. I cried unto the Most High. I told him, Father, no man can help me. Nothing can help me. Only you can help me. I'm running to you because you are the ultimate judge. No one else. You have to help me. If you do not help me, my son, they're going to take my son away. They'll put him in the system, and I will never see my son again. I do not know what they shall do unto I. So please, you have to help me. I am there crying out unto the Father. I'm just crying out to him. I cried in me to send help. October, the following day report for the hearing, they say you have to report for whatever that crapula name that they use. You have to go arraignment. So for God's grace, I slept home. I got bailed out. I slept home. Following day morning, I went for arraignment. October 18th, I go for arraignment. November, I'm reporting again to court. December, I'm reporting again to court. January, I'm reporting again to court. February, I'm reporting again to court. March, hold up. February, fast forward, 2018, 2 of my brothers approached me. No, actually, one approaches me via phone call. He said, oh, Johnny, how you doing? I say, oh, yeah, you know I have a case. Da, da, da. They say, you have a case? They say, what happened? I say, oh, so I tell them the details. He said, all right, I think I'm going to help you. I'm going to reach out to Brother Lee. I'm going to reach out to Leon. And then we'll get back to you. So that is February. I'm still going to court. March, I'm still going to court. They haven't come to us. No rush, but I'm saying, I know, Father, help shall come. I know help shall come. April, 1015 Central Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm chilling, I'm there, listening to reggae. You know, I'm like, okay, now court is almost here, da da da. I got a phone call. It's Brother Keith. You home? Yeah, I'm a pull up. I'm a pull up with brother Leon. Okay. So I'm thinking it's just them joking and playing around, right? Because I'm thinking, oh, whatever. So they decide, they come, they do come for real. So when they come, they bring me these papers. They say, oh, Johnny, you have to fill you have to fill these papers. You have to claim you're a Moor. You cannot. I say, have you been going to court and you've been claiming you're black? I said, you need to scratch that. You're a Moor. You have a higher status. You're on a higher status. So claim your nationality as a Moor. Use your tribal name. So now I had to get rid of that name that I do not know. And I stood on my root name, Jambi Waweru. And they say, you're a woman, you get to pick a title. They say that, I say, oh, L. I sit down and say, L. Who said, hold on for that L? But ain't that Elohim? Ain't that short for Elohim? Ain't that short for Elohim? Okay? Are you with me? Are you with me? So that's why I said, I got this. come at me. If you don't got this, don't bother with it. Because I'm going to slam you with this.
That's what the prophet said.
In El Elohim. Okay. I take it. Let me take you back. And it's something I told Brother Jamal. And I told him, he was laughing. Because for real, and I'm saying it the truth, they don't take me seriously. They don't. My brothers do not take me seriously.
If we didn't take you seriously, you wouldn't be doing this class right now,
don't listen to Judy. She's the advocate.
Oh my goodness.
She bans them with me.
I
She's
take you
part of
serious.
it. I stand by
I
you.
take you serious.
What? He gets the support, and I get thrown to the wolves.
After 12, you. After 12, she's serious. I'm serious. I take what? I'm kidding.
See what I'm saying? Okay then. So
I read what you told me to read, and I cited it off memory,
how long
which
did
you
it take
know.
How long did it take you? How long did it take you, Brother Jamal, to read? How long?
Let me see.
For real.
Because I have a picture. Because remember, my phone wasn't working, so I have a picture of what you told me to read, so that I can read it. So I'll show you when the picture's from. I'll show you when I read it. See right there.
Oh, yeah.
Boom! Look at that. Pow! That was February 26th.
But I've sent you more than that. I've sent you
My
more
phone?
than that.
Yeah, see, February 26th.
Okay, that's 2020.
That's when I read it.
Okay, but I sent you most pictures more than that before the 2020 year. So I don't know what you're trying to say. You see, you don't take me seriously. Anyway.
Say again, what was that?
So here, I stick with my names and I'm saying El, I say Elohim. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, this is the answer. It's hot and hot.
Yeah, you're not hot?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
You hot?
No,
you
just keep it on. Yeah, become.
Oh, okay. I know me and love heat. I'm from the tropics. I'm sorry, born and raised under the hot African sun, so I love heat.
And that fire, she melted us on and turned.
So they bring these papers, I do that. And then...
Wait, I was there?
Yeah, you wrote at 1015 Central Street, remember? You
okay,
one
yeah,
told me. Even one who told me, he said, don't even use that captain, use jumping.
Oh, okay.
And he said you never.
Alright, now I remember. I was wondering where.
1015 Central Street.
Yeah, I was wondering where.
At TN's
first
place.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah.
At
TN's place.
Okay.
Okay, right? So
it's a while back.
I know, Brother Jabir, I know. So they say, okay, we'll be taking you they'll be picking me up for classes, This brother right here, faithful, he'll get off work tired, because he does a heavy duty job. He does a heavy duty job. He'll come scoop my son and I. We go to Brother Akif's. We study until like 1. So as we got into it, they started bringing me to Brother Jamal's class. Now this is them, the F, okay? This is the F, but I call it the House of Congress. It is House of Congress. I'm sorry. You cannot walk in there with your unintelligent self. You cannot walk, I do not care who you are. You cannot walk in there with your unintelligent self. Either it pertains to books or just way of life. You have to be really careful with what you say and how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Alright, so now here they are. They are bashing me. Remember, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm fighting for my life over here. No one over lie. I'm telling you, if you guys are lying, may just strike me dead right now, the giver of life. This man to the left, right here, Brother Jabir.
You're in trouble.
Jambi, you need to study. I don't want to hear you say you cannot understand. You no. Anyone that knows Brother Jabir will back me up. For real, thank you. Brother Ishmael, brother, am I lying? He came down on me. It
was a more like,
not lying. No, there was no hey jumping, nothing. There was nothing like hey jumping. He was on my neck. When I tell you on my neck, I will go home after he drops us off. I'll put my son to bed and I'll roll up a spliff and I will cry. I would cry. And I'll be like,
spiritually.
I'll be like, and physically. I'll be like, John, what is this? Does he know what is? I do not even know what to study. And then here, brother, so I have stuff to study. And then Brother Keith, It's like he read my energy. He says, you know what, I'ma send you, because that's how he talks. I'ma send you Queen Valara video and concentrate on it. Empress Valara, okay? Yeah, watch a video and it's gonna help you. And I keep forward to class, you know, and Brother Jabir and you know, Leon and I gotcha. I said, okay, no problem. So all right, so I continue with class. I'm thinking Brother Keith is on my side. No. What? This day now, he turns the tables on me. And we are studying, and I don't know, they asked me a question, and I think I didn't answer it properly. Oh my God. That is how
even like that.
Yo, for real. That is how you're gonna answer in court? We're trying to fight that da-da-da-da-da-da. Brother Akif stood up and said, Jambi, if you do not win this case, I will slap you in that court and they will not tell me nothing. They will not tell me nothing. I will slap you in that court.
Definitely exaggerating that.
I said, no, for real. I said, what? I said, yo. I went in, Queen Valara, just watching her videos, standing in square.
It's either you get barked at by your own people,
right,
or you go to freaking prison.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Better it comes from family and
right.
us than from another culture.
Yeah.
From someone who just, even though what seems like correction, their goal is just to demean it. Better take it from your own first. Embrace it from your own.
Which
that energy right there can only feed you. Right. From another culture, it can only break you down.
Which we carry that custom in us.
Yes.
In growing up, we just don't know it. Prime example would be, and it might be negatively used, but when I was growing up and I was having a fight, my cousin would tell me, you better beat him up. I'm gonna beat you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty much the same principle.
Exactly.
But it was used in a negative way.
It's because
as here, it's used to make you strong. And
yeah.
Like they say steel sharpens steel.
Yes.
So we want you to be in the same level as where we are, the same comprehension as where we are, have the same competency that we do.
Yes.
So that way when I mess up, you can sharpen me. When you mess up, I can sharpen you.
Actually,
in the Marines, they say, practice how you fight.
Yeah. Iron sharpens iron. Right there in the book of Proverbs. Iron sharpens iron. The countenance of one man brighteneth another. And that is why Yeshua Messiah calls us light. He will be the light of the world. You hear?
But continue.
So, Keith threatened to slap you if you lose.
Yeah.
Wow, we're gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I'm panicking. I'm like, God, you need to help me. You need to help me. So
I don't want to get slapped.
I'm standing, yeah, you don't even know, Brother Jamal. Like, I'll come to your class and the way you teach, I'll be like, oh, okay. I say, what? And I ask him, why is Brother Jamal coming down too long? And I'm like, you know what I was
used to. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Get him down here. Get him down here.
Yeah, because if he's there, they're not going to. They will not eat me alive. Yeah, because I know he neutralizes everything. I'm like, these lions, they are.
These lions.
Yeah. What? They're real lions. You know, they're fake lions. Just like this Mufasa and Tsar. Scar, that's his name. Yeah, I call him Tsar, right? Tsar of Russia, I'm sorry. Like Scar, same thing. So now I'm standing in my square, now I'm starting to play it right here. Gotta stand in your square, anything that you don't feel comfortable, So now, Brother Jabir comes to me and says, you still have the lawyer? Yes. Did you fire him? No. All right. Hold up, we're gonna fight. Strategy.
Strategy is key.
All right. Vision has strategy. Did I write it?
Yeah.
Okay, did I write it?
It says vision has strategy.
Okay, did I write
exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
It was there, right? Okay.
And that's what Yeshua said. Yeah. Be wise, and that's what the Quran said. Plan.
All right. So Brother Jabir is like, we're not going to fire him. They'll fire him on the court date. So May May, when I report to court, actually it was Judge Fortes.
Judge Fortes.
Yeah. When I went, no, this is the month of May, so that I can have a trial on the 20th.
Yeah.
So now, May, I find Judge Fortes. It's the month of Ramadan.
Oh, yes. That's right.
So she said, it's the month of Ramadan, so no court hearing, nothing. I'm going to push it to June 20. Okay, no problem. So I have 1 month. I said, Father, I don't know nothing about statutes, codes, and laws and stuff, but I'm going to stand by your word. Because on that day that I got kidnapped, I cried for help. And you brought me these 2 brothers. So there is no way this is a mistake. All right? And when I go to class, they call it a divine movement. And anything that's divine, it's not man-made orchestrated. It's in your hands that are orchestrated. So I was like, I'll just observe the month of Ramadan. And I will go to classes and just observe it. But I'm going, just, that's it. Because I can't even put these UCCs in my head. I don't know. I can't put the HR, that it did not register. I'm telling you with all true honesty. I will go and I will listen to them, but it will not sink in. So the only thing that was sinking in was this. And this is all me I was leaning on. So June 20th, I called them, I said, I'm headed to court, and I leave my phone because you can't enter with the phone in the courtroom. So the only human being accompanying me is my son. I'm holding on to Baba. I'm like, Baba, you hold on to me and you do not let go. The only time you let go of me is if you see Uncle Charge. It's like, okay. I get to the courtroom. As I'm about to leave, I call Brother Jabir. He's like, I'm gathering all your stuff. You head to court. I'm gathering all your stuff, but don't forget, I have my own hearing.
We all had court that day.
Imagine that. See
we all had
just how the spirit of darkness works. He had a court date the same day I'm having my trial, and he's the one who has everything on mine. I proceed to the courtroom with my son. I'm seated there, and
what did Lele do first?
Lele walks in.
What did he do first?
When he walked in, he asked me if I fired the lawyer. I told him no. So
then what did we do?
Hold on. So it's now Lele in the courtroom.
Yes.
Okay. So Lele is there, and he keeps asking, who's the lawyer representing, and tell him he's not here. Who's the lawyer? He's not here. They say, when he walks in, it's like Lele knows it's him. As I turn to tell him that, he's like, your brother, are you there? I was like, yeah, that's him. I said, court, we're told to arise, and they try to call me. I object. They say, oh, the lawyer there is busy in another courtroom. So this appointed lawyer calls us out. So when we go out and we get to the hallway, before he even speaks, Lala just looks him and tells him, "You're fired." You should have seen the confusion in his eyes. His confusion in his face.
To do with
He's like, what? And then he wanted to say something.
Pause. Can I just interject 1 second?
Yeah, man.
They've never experienced it.
Yes.
In 41 Hurst Street, Lowell District Court has never experienced it. So that day, they were shocked to see something outside of what they're normally used to see.
Yes.
And no one went to jail for it. Go ahead.
All right. So I need you guys to know, for 8 months, I've been going to court, nothing. So this is the 9th month. Pregnancy takes 9 months. And after 9 months, birth is given. So this is the 9th month, my trial. And my brothers are pulled in. But some of them are downstairs, Brother Lala runs upstairs. He fires him, and then he asks Lala, who are you? And Lele looks at him in his face, and looks him in the eye, and he tells him, I am who I am. You best believe that lawyer said absolutely nothing. He was quiet, and then he saw, okay, this fight, I've lost it. He did not even look at me to address the matters. Now his attention now was on Lele. Now he's telling Lele, all right, you know, he's telling him as to what is going on, da, 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 da. He's not even addressing me. Now he's addressing Lala, okay? We're walking in the courtroom, and for some reason, it's just like they were being waited on. Because when they came, I was called and I objected. I said, objection, my honor, as Queen Valara said, Jambi Wawero L. And then he called me again, I said, objection, Jambi Wawero L. And they were like, da 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 da, and they tried to say whatever they were trying to say, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, yes, da da da, and they say, oh, there's no case, because whoever is there protest, whoever charge is saying is against you, he can't say nothing because of the Fifth Amendment. I was like, cool, okay. And then Brother Leon has picked his bag. I see him, he's now direct behind me. So the only thing that's separating us is like just a small fence. So he's in the first chair behind me, but he's in such a way he can reach me. So I'm standing right there. All right. And then they say, so the court clerk proceeds, and she's like, oh, you have to pay the fee of $150. My big mouth, I had forgotten that he had said, you got a big mouth, so but you know how to regulate it. I forgot. Yeah, I totally forgot. I said, I'm not, I didn't
she
even
said,
have.
No.
Yeah, I said, no, I am not paying.
She forgot to say objection too.
Yeah, I went straight. I was like, I forgot.
He dismisses it. The judge goes, all right, we'll dismiss it. Yeah, one second. There are some court costs of $150 fee. John Turner, she goes, no.
I am not paying.
Just straight like that.
Yeah,
and the judge didn't even, let me tell you, it's like when she said that, the judge was like, all right.
Yeah, because he kept on trying to talk, and I kept on saying, no, I'm not paying.
What? Mind you, when I pull a no in the court, it's like, it's like, I think SWAT's coming through the ceiling. They're going to handle everything. She turns like, no. And the judge is like,
yeah, he ended up calling me Attorney Wawero. Yeah, Attorney Wawero.
And I was scared for her. When she turned around and said no, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he reached out. It's like, he reached out. Yeah,
and then she's like, there was no attorney or no fee. What fee?
Yeah, I said no
contract. Yeah. And then the judge goes, all right.
Yeah, I told them I'm not a ward of their state.
And she's
I don't
calling you,
work for you and you
Attorney
don't work for me.
Warrior. Yeah. All of a sudden, she just starts calling.
And do you know who it is? John Coffey.
Wow.
Yes, it was Coffey.
The same judge
me.
Yeah.
Slaying me.
Wow.
Terrified of Jambi. Terrified of her.
Yeah.
Mind you, I told her how to go ahead, but he's just up there, just slapping me against the table. Wow, wow, wow. I'm fighting because I'm still out here talking to you guys. But Jambi went in there and just put the dagger in him and walked out. I'm like, Jambi, show me how to do that. How did you do that? Right, like, I got to say no the way she said no.
Right here. Authority.
You crazy?
Authority.
But that's why the women, y'all spiritually, y'all energy is just higher than us. Even we can eat the same garbage, be taught the same garbage, and y'all will still vibrate higher. That's how I've explained it to myself, how y'all outlive us and how y'all outsurvive us. So imagine the women back into their mental capacity. It'll be God on earth. Yeah.
Proverbs 1:6-7. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This is all I relied on. This is all I went with. No statutes, no codes, no nothing. I didn't know nothing. But now as we go with law, things are tying up. Remember, it's a spiritual power struggle that went on in heaven.
That's true. It was a... Let me interject. She knew none of the codes for the laws that she stood her ground on. She just knew that.
That's wrong, and she was right.
That's wrong. Right, exactly. That's wrong, and this is right, according to your law. I may not know the codes and wherever you're, but you know you have it there, and that's wrong, and this is right. She stood on that.
Straight common sense.
Without saying, well, according to Article 6, subsection 9 of the content, like, none of that. She stood on her spiritual strength and belief and knew that what I taught her, what we taught her, it was right. And what they were trying to do to her was wrong. She stood her ground.
Yeah, divine.
And the judge said, all right. Oh, you just don't hurt me. Mind you, I'm in there. I can't understand it.
Can I say something for the input?
Yes.
It's just because those books, from the beginning of time, there's law. It's nature law. It's what is right, common sense.
Ecclesiastical law as well.
Yes.
Exactly.
So by using
That's what it
laws.
is. Ecclesiastical law,
Ecclesiastical
which
law.
was used, ecclesiastical law was used by Abraham Lincoln, Leviticus 25:10, which that is what he used, that scripture he used to do the Emancipation Proclamation.
Can you turn this way and do that?
So, Abraham Lincoln, the last president, he used Leviticus 25:10 to do the Emancipation Proclamation to so-called free the slaves.
I hear the last president because that's
Can we read 25:10?
I want to say something. Can I say something? So, like, and I apologize to God for this regularly. I feel like I have not. Because I was raised to believe I was Christian. Right? Then, like I don't know. My mom, when I was little, my mom said to me, like, oh, something different about you, special type stuff. So, when I was introduced to God, like, I'm the type of person you really can't show things to, because I'll go to the extents to find out if it's real or see what it is you're showing me. So I went to look for God. Being brought up in the church when I became 17 or 16, 17, I literally got up, left the church, and went to go find who everyone is talking about this guy. I visited so many churches from my 17 to my 19-year-old span, 2 years. I walked around the Bronx and I visited churches, like different churches. My mom used to warn me, going in places like that where it's against Christ, it's against this, you must stick to your own type of church. And I didn't care. I just went because I needed to find him. Like, what, he's got to be somewhere. So it got to a point where it was frustrating because you never physically find him. So I began to hate. Anger started to develop, and I began to hate the Bible, the scriptures, all of this. It's all nonsense. Then as I grew, and I learned, it's like, regardless how much you disregard the books still, things in life happen, and it's like, the book's talking about it. It's like it talks and type stuff. So when I got into the more science now, and I actually learned how to read, I went back into it. To read it and to as a more to see what my eyes couldn't see, because the book says we have scales over our eyes and we have eyes but we cannot see. So I went back in the book to see if the scales have been removed from my eyes, but I also brought two dictionaries this time. So I'm reading and I'm reading the book, and lo and behold, the book is literally what they say it is, a law book, and it can be a weapon. If you know what you're doing, if you know about the word and you know how to use the word, this book literally can be a weapon.
An arm,
to add on to that,
and a weapon.
It is a weapon.
Mass destruction too. Mass destruction.
It is.
Not just no arm, an extension of one's arm. This is a weapon of mass destruction. And they know it. Their studies are written like that. So
to add on to that, sorry.
So no, let me end mine real quick. So after overstanding the whole thing of it, right, I had to like sort of kind of go on my own thing and apologize to the higher being, because my ignorance of not knowing what it was, the tool, made me hate and condemn it, which took from my spirituality, which took from me. So now that I understand the book, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, like, your life is being our lives. The plain net as we speak. These books are governing. These are what the so-called leaders are governing our everyday step and our breaths from. They know nowhere else to look to govern us. But they've perversed it to their own liking.
And you're talking about both of them, right?
Yeah, all of them, yeah.
This right, so the Torah isn't here.
I mean, it's essentially the Old Testament anyways.
Yes. So the Quran, Los Biblios Tecas, and the Torah, which is the Old Testament, same thing. But these books are not to be disregarded, because there's a movie about it. The goal that they want us to do is this. So once they've demonized it enough in our eyes, and we hate this enough, We were literally
we're throwing away nature's law. Yeah.
It's something they can't take from us. The spiritual part of it says that we have to willingly hand it to them.
Yes.
Consent.
Consent. And that's what they're waiting for us to do. So as the youth grow up and this confuses them and they don't understand it and they hate and rebel against it, they are building a body that's going to say, here, take this, we don't want that. Nothing to do with it. And we would then give them the key. That's what they want.
Can I add real fast?
Give them these books.
Just, John, you're wrong by saying you didn't know nothing about law. Because I did a whole diagram to prove why you're wrong. Because you ended right behind your back. Because you comprehend this.
It's true.
And we're telling you to enforce this. So you get it already. That's it. Literally, that's it.
See? You see?
But not doing.
And then applying that and knowing that is literally embodied within the 7 Hermetic principles. Polarity, which is dealing with vibration, because this is a higher vibrational frequency than this. But this matches this. Just like cold is a lower vibrational frequency than hot, but they're both the same thing. They're just degrees of the same thing. So all of this is degrees of the same thing. That's why the universe, it starts with mental.
Yes.
And then you have to see these vibrations and see how they correspond. And then once you apply it, you see the cause and effect.
And Prophet Noble Jewelry says renew your mind, right?
It says it right in the Bible.
Okay. That's all I'm going to say. So the prophet says, and even in the...
He put that whole chart up behind.
So I have to copy that.
Screenshot it. Yeah, everybody take a picture. And,
so yeah, so now going to law. In law, okay, because you have it there. Don't erase it.
yeah,
No, I'm not going to erase it.
In law, we taught of the 3 elements: your status, the jurisdiction, and the adjudication. Okay, that triangle like so. If I can prove it right there that it started with Prophet Moses, would you believe so?
If you can prove it?
It's right there. I don't have to prove it. I prove the scriptures be proving it.
You just asked me if you prove it.
Yeah, because you want to show you?
Yes.
Okay.
Show me.
yeah.
All right. So, previous, my brothers and sisters, I've been telling the first month he came to your court, and I was, that was the first time I was there, and you came there, right?
I go to court.
I know, but this was brother
In court.
We should get paid, right?
This was Brother Jabir in the 4th session. And and he walked in, and I looked at him and said, Brother Jamal, you look like Prophet Moses. And he laughed. I'm telling you, for real. I told him that you look like Prophet Moses. And he laughed. I said, but don't, and I always said, don't ask me how Prophet Moses looks like, but that's the vibe me. I saw him, I saw Prophet Moses, you know what I'm saying? And I keep telling you, Brother Jamal, you're opening doors for a lot of people. A lot of people are opening doors for them. They're just waiting for that light, you know? We keep banging on that door, we keep banging. Once that light cracks, darkness will run away, because darkness doesn't like fire. You know what I mean? It always runs. And I told him that, and I've been telling him, you've been, this is a calling. It has nothing to do with you, okay? So, Prophet Moses of this session, of this era, hold up, all right? So
Moses did say, let my people go.
So before that, he's a Hebrew child, born and raised in the Pharaoh house, okay? So in Pharaoh's house, Exodus chapter 3, go right there. You actually start from Exodus chapter 1.
Sound like me with the law. Give you the exact right answer.
So Moses, when he's born 3 lunar months, and then his mom can't hide him no more, puts him in an ark.
I was supposed to be born at 7 months, and then the doctors held me in until the 9th month. I was born after, they call it the Good Moon, on a Friday, April 17th.
It was Good Friday.
Yeah, Good Friday.
And you know, Friday in the the people that observe Islam, Ijuma, we call it Ijuma in Swahili, and also in Arabic it's called Ijuma. That's the day of man to God. That's the day of man to God, and that's the 6th day.
It was the day after.
You know, Friday is also ruled by Venus. It's the holy day.
And it's also Fish Friday.
Fish Friday?
Yeah,
I know. It's true. Most places on Friday. Yeah, they do fish. Yeah, most restaurants on Friday you're guaranteed fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an observation.
Monday, Thursday, you won't find.
I knew a lot of Italians coming up, and that's
Fish
what
Friday.
they did on holidays and you know, Fridays. It was always fish.
You know what's funny? My dad's a Pisces, and he fries the best fish I ever had in my life.
Look at that.
It's called lauder.
Fish frying fish.
So Prophet Moses, right? He's raised by the pharaohs, so he knows the laws and the statutes and the codes of Egypt. He's a Hebrew child. Alright? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes.
All right. Here you are, Brother Jamal. Born and raised by your mom. Okay? All right, as a Moor. But you go work in the Marines.
Right.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know this. You're the one who saves your life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You go and you run to the Marines and you learn their ways. And you learned that it wasn't kosher. So now you've come back to get the people out of Pharaoh. All right? Moses did the same thing. Hebrew child, born and raised in the Pharaoh, he committed a crime. He stood for one of his brothers. When he stood for one of his brothers, his other brothers called him out.
For Khalifa. And they threw me in jail.
Okay. So he actually stood up for a brother, killed an Egyptian.
I didn't do that.
Okay. But this is Moses' life, right? He killed an Egyptian, protecting the Hebrew, the Israelite child. When he sees that, he finds two Israelites fighting. Like, yo, brother, why you gotta be rough on your brother? You know, chill out, you know, take it easy, They turn to him and they say, you who are you to come tell us we need to chill? You who killed that Egyptian and you hid him. Moses said, what? They know I committed murder. Off to the wilderness. Okay? It's in the wilderness that Jaja calls him out. Through a burning bush. And when he responds, he's told by Father, I need you to go do this. And Moses is like, but I can't. I don't got the stature, Father. I don't got the stature. He says, what do you mean? You do got the stature. I am the God your God. So I'm sending you there. So you're going to do this and that because I'm sending you there. So he opened up his mind on the stature level. So we're not covering the status part. You need to know yourself before we go to the courtroom. We need to know ourselves. Okay. But look at him. His worry is not the Pharaoh of the arms and the word and the word. His worry is not that. His worry is more about his fellow brothers and sisters. Will they take his word? And right now, aren't you not going through that? Some people bashing your name, doing all that. So he didn't have to worry. You know, I mean, he didn't worry about the enemies. He was more worried about the people in the house. And it's true, it's always the people in the house that will bring you chaos. No word of a lie. You know what I mean? But he's told what to do. Jah tells him how to take care of the people. But Father was more on the concentration of, I need you to take them out of Pharaoh. So now the status is done. So they're going to Pharaoh. So here you are going to another king and telling this other king, you got to let my people go. So this king will ask him, and who sent you? So now he's given status and he's given jurisdiction. So Father puts the jurisdiction on him, and he tells him, I am the Lord, I am the God, your God, God of Israel. The children of Israel are his people. So it's giving them jurisdiction. The jurisdiction automatically comes adjudication, because adjudication is what something that has already been judged over. So Father has already judged over that the house of Israel, the children of Israel are his. They're his jurisdiction. So they've been given that sovereign power. And that is where we get our sovereign status from. And once again, for us fighting this, it's about the house. It's all about the house. It's all about the seed of Abraham. We have two seeds running the world. We have the true blood and we have the false blood. The true blood is in chaos right now. We are divided. The true blood, the house of Abraham, the seed of Abraham, we are divided. And it's because we're saying we're this, we're that. No, there's nothing like Christianity. There's nothing like Islamic, nothing. No, one true God. Because when you go to the Islam, they talk about monotheism, one God. For we who are believers, not Christianity, because Yeshua Messiah didn't say nothing about Christianity. He only talked about truth, peace, love, justice, and freedom. But no Christianity. No Christianity. If we base on that, we are one house. Those who practice Islam, you are the seed of Abraham and Hagar. You are from the tribe of Ishmael or Ismael. Okay? We have Abraham and Sarah, the children of the covenant, where kings and priests and judges are imagined from. The children of Ishmael, them they are lawmakers. That's their nature. That's the nature given unto them by the Most High. The house of Israel, the seed of Abraham and Sarah, is kings, priests, judges, rulers. Because in every kingdom there has to be authority, there has to be power, there has to be governorship. Like, we're talking about forming a political government. Yes, even the Most High has a political government. Because you know what? For those of you who don't believe, Lucifer has a political government. And they are the ones running all these high offices. So if you think when you're going to deal with that judge or that governor or whoever they are, if they're not under the spirit of the Most High, they're under the spirit of Lucifer. Most people forget that Lucifer was casted down on earth before man came. So before Adam and Eve were thrown down, he was cast down. So he knows the earth, each and every corner, each and every part of the earth. He calls it his dominion. But it's not his dominion, because when man was created, we were given dominion over the earth. Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1. When man was created, Adam was given dominion over the earth. And before that, in the heavenly realm, he holds a high stature. Okay? We have the God. We have our Father. And we have Yeshua Messiah, the advocate. And we have the Ruach HaKodesh. After that, we do have now man. We are even on top of angels. Angels are supposed to serve unto us. That's why when we call unto help, they come. Because that's their work, that's their nature. It's we who do not know our position. And the devil knows that. He has his children running this world. So when we are learning laws, concentrate also on the scripture law. We got two bloodlines. And even Yeshua Messiah, he says it. I didn't say it, he says it. These are the children of God and the children of Satan. He says it. He says it. And they're there. They are there seated in governor. They are seated as Pope. They are seated as the queen of I don't know who, what not. And if you want to know the true bloodline, for those of you who want to know who really the true bloodline is, go look on the clip, go look on the picture. When, whatever her name is, Queen Elizabeth or Queen Victoria, whoever it is, when she went to visit King Selassie, and Queen Menem, Empress Menem, sorry, Empress Menem, she bowed to them. Are you hearing me? For those of you who are tuning in, the Queen of so-called England, Victoria, whatever, she bowed to King Selassie and Empress Menem. So if she's really a true queen, a true bloodline, why bow to the other people that you're calling inferior? Why bow to your inferior? Why bow to so-called, I don't know, whatever they want to call us? Why bow down?
Kings and queens don't bow to each other.
Right.
But she knows. They know what time it is. They know what time it is. We just don't know. Because we're busy fighting each other. We're busy fighting each other. For those of you who are observing the Islam, please embrace those brothers who are practicing Christianity, whatever. Show them. Don't bash them. And for those of you who think there's jihad, there's nothing like jihad. In the Quran, there's nothing like jihad. Okay? Get that out of your mind. That is a mindset put by these so-called false prophets.
Propaganda.
Okay, for real.
European propaganda.
Exactly. Because remember, they are the ones in power. These are the seed of children of Satan. Yeshua tells you straight up. He tells you straight up. By us, we want to fight. But in Hosea 4:6, what does it say? My people perish due to lack of knowledge. We don't want to read. We just want to be fed. No. Moses, the first commandments were given unto him. But on the second time around, he had to go sculpt the stone. So now, the first time, the keys of dominion were given to man. But because of the jealousy, because of the war that started in heaven, if you can read the Quran, you'll understand how this war started. Just very simple. When man was created, all angels were told to bow down. And Lucifer was the only angel that refused to bow down. He said, I am made of fire. Why should I bow down to a thing that's made of clay? So, fire can destroy clay. So why would you tell me to bow before? And Lucifer, that was the first thing. He rebelled. That was the first thing. He rebelled against Father because of man. And it's because he could not stand. Remember, he was the one, the chieftain musician. He did all this, so Father adored him. Okay? Father adored him. Of all the immortal beings that were there, Lucifer was loved by Father. He was highly favored by Father. But when Father created Adam, that love and affection, he gave it to Adam. He so gave it to the seed of Adam. Okay? He loved Adam, and when he created Eve, I'm telling you, when he formed Eve out of Adam, and he looked at Eve, he was mesmerized. And he said the second edition is better than the first edition. I'm telling you, Jah was pleased by the works of his hands. And when Lucifer saw that, he got even more furious, bringing chaos, That's when he started saying that he's going to exalt himself, When you read the Quran and the Bible, they are puzzles that go right. They fit each other. So the Bible doesn't say that. But the Quran will tell you. Okay? So here comes Lucifer waging war. And Angel Michael comes with Angel Gabriel. They come because they've heard the commotion. They've been told what's going on. They come fight. And then Father comes and like, what's up? It's like he's told Lucifer, He said, all right. you need to go because you're bringing impurity in a pure place. And he says, before I leave, I need one request. As always, Father, whatever you ask of Father, he shall give it unto you. He's a good Father. He's a fair Father. So he asked Lucifer, whatever you ask, it shall be granted. And Lucifer, with his cunning ways, says, all right, since you said you're not going to destroy me until at a certain time, I'm going to wage war. I'm going to wage war to the seed of man until the day of you come and until the day of his death, until the day of his eternal death. Okay? That was, and Father said, let it be so. And he casted him down. But so when you go now to the book of Genesis, chapter 3, man, after they commit the sin, man is told, no, the woman is told, the seed of the serpent, there shall be an enmity between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. The serpent shall bruise the heel of the seed of woman, and the woman shall bruise its head. You gotta go for the, I'm telling you, you gotta go for the head. You're operating on a spiritual authority. Yeah.
Genesis 3?
Yeah.
It says, now the serpent proved to be the most cautious of all the wild beasts of the field that Jehovah God had made. So it began to say to the woman, it is really so that God said you must not eat from every tree of the garden. At this, the woman said to the serpent, of the fruit of the trees of the garden we may eat. But as for eating of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, God has said, you must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it, that you do not die. At this the serpent said to the woman, you positively will not die, for God knows that in the very day of your eating from it, your eyes are bound to be opened, and you are bound to be like God, knowing good and bad. Consequently, the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was something to be longed for to the eyes. Yes, the tree was desirable to look upon. So she began talking, and its fruit, she began taking of its fruit, eating it. Afterward gave some also to her husband. Went with her, and he began eating it. So it says, afterwards she gave some also to her husband, went with her, and he began eating it. Then the eyes of both of them became open, and they began to realize that they were naked. Hence they sewed fig leaves together and made joint covering for themselves. Down to verse 14. And Jehovah God proceeded to say to the serpent, because you have done this thing, you are the cursed one out of all the domestic animals and out of all the wild beasts of the field. Upon your belly you will go, and dust is what you will eat all the days of your life. And I shall put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He will bruise you in the head, and you will bruise him in the heel.
Question: what kind of tree was it?
Tree of knowledge.
Tree of knowledge. Mm-hmm. So my interpretation, and I may be wrong with it, is if you look at our people, we have our own communities, our own structures, and our own ways of life. And when these colonial impositions came, they started bringing us into these institutions, teaching us their ways, their stuff, and feeding us their knowledge. And that is what's actually causing the division that he stated right now between the man and the woman, and also the division of the seeds, which is the children, between the children and the parents. That's just my interpretation. So basically what you're saying is actually something
that's
that he was saying.
Can I add?
Yes.
I see it the other way too, where once you find out this Moorish knowledge, you don't know how many men I've heard say, I'm trying to get my wife on it, she doesn't want to, she wants to take the children away, da 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 da. And once you learn this information, you can't unsee it.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can't,
so it's like, it's degrees of the same thing.
Yeah. Can I add on to Morena too? Back in the 1492, when the Inquisitionists came all the way from Europe, they forced natives of the land to be able to be Christians. If they were not being Christian and being on their side, they're going to get murdered. And that was genociding in the island.
And that caused war in the home.
They also spoke about the diet a little bit because they said you would fill your bellies with dust, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Which is nothing. Right? And when we eat these meats that are not good for us, is not nutritional at all. Look at the corn that they're giving us, which is genetically modified, which is nothing.
And who does it come from?
From them.
All right. So they were cursed.
Because they give the seeds to these farmers.
Because they were cursed. Because of the children of the serpent.
And when we say them, it's pretty much evil. So they could be able to be more specific, because a lot of people have a second guess, like, who's them? Who are we talking about? The oppressor. The person who wants to have this knowledge and use it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right there in Genesis 3, we've been taught about tricks, trap, and trade. All right. And tricks, traps, and trade, that is law class. The brother Abdullah, the last time he was here, they talked about it. Trick, traps, and trade. So in Genesis chapter 3, the trick was Satan told Eve that Father did not say that. He didn't really say that if you eat that food, you're gonna die. No, he just doesn't want you to be on his level. That was a trick. The trap. Through her actions, the society has been trapped in things that we cannot even get out of. Getting out of them is war. We are trapped in our children being stolen. We are trapped in our children being indoctrinated into transgender. We are being trapped in things like LGBTQMNOP. We are being trapped in homosexuality and stuff. Those are not kosher. Those are unnatural ways that they are right there in the scripture. That if you do not follow the ways of the Father, then the unnatural ways will be what we will be following. And that's what we are doing right now. Okay? All right. And the trade. What was the trade there? Eve's action. She traded the keys, the dominion. She traded that power and authority, that spiritual power and authority bestowed on man. She gave it to Lucifer. Okay? So here it's all about bloodline. We are fighting with bloodlines, a true bloodline and false bloodline. You know? And we need to wake up and realize what's going on, because things are getting hard. Things are getting harder, and they're going to get harder and harder. We need to protect our children at all costs. At all costs. You know what I mean? And we keep on tying the law, the spiritualism, and with the law itself. Anyone who has questions, please post. But as I typed the Prophet Moses, he was given the status, he was given the jurisdiction, and he was given the adjudication. So for those of you who are fighting, saying that this divine movement is fake, no, it's divine for a reason. It's being orchestrated by the Most High. It has nothing to do with it's man, it's Jamal, it's Jabir, it's Prophet Noble Juali. No. It's the awakening of your mind. You need to know who you are. You have a spiritual power and authority on this earth. Yes.
Someone has a question on. They said, "Can I emancipate me and my son from the government? How will I be able to work?" That was one of the questions.
All right. You seek Jah kingdom. and he shall provide for you. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah provided. You have to let go of everything. You hear? If it's this Moorish,
the same way you would work without the system.
Right. And I know it's hard. It has to start from here.
We think that the system is lo and behold, end all, be all.
No, it's not.
That's not the case. You got to know this. Every day the system wakes up and asks itself, oh, if these people ever wake up, how will I work? The system asks itself that. While we sit and ask ourselves, if we emancipate from the system, how will we work? The same way that everyone who is emancipating themselves from the system every day is doing it. They're working. They're finding what works for them and doing it. I got fired. Fired. All right, working for the man, so-called, chasing the bag and all that. And I got fired because his auntie thought she could come to the job and tell me what to do. But I got fired right into freedom.
They didn't know that. They pushed you.
Like, I was so fed up or sick and tired of being sick and tired that when I got fired, it was right along up my alley with all the stuff going on in my life. And I just said, psh, like, God take the wheel. And I got fired right into my company that I have now. I own my own company. No one can tell me nothing.
That was one of the questions here. One more said, all the power is within you. What do you naturally what is your profit from, what do you profit from, which your source of income?
The money.
Oh, what?
His own painting company.
Right. They would just kind of.
I have my own company. I do. So what I did was, after I got fired, I got a phone call. So, like she says, Allah has shown me evidence of herself, himself, however you want to place Allah. And I got fired pretty much right into my company because I got a phone call and someone asked me if I wanted to paint. If I knew, no, first he called and asked me if I knew how to paint. I said yes. Then he said, do you want to paint? And I said yes. And he said, all right, meet me over here and paint. And I went over there and I painted. And here I am today with a painting company. Because I just did what I knew how to do. You see what I'm saying? So the problem is when you're stuck in that fearful mode of what will I do if I emancipate from the system?
Yes,
what will I do if I get rid of my license? What will I do if I get did? You would do the same thing you would do if none of it existed. You would get up and you would do it. It will come to your mind.
It will come.
Then your mind will send a signal to your feet.
Yes.
Your feet will bring you to where your hands need to be, and you'll do it.
Yes.
And you'll use your mind.
Yeah, you'll use your mind. Do it all.
It all starts from.
You just must believe in yourself.
Yes. You have to tap in. The kingdom is within.
Yes, exactly. It's within yourself.
The kingdom is within. You are a seed. You are created. You are built to multiply.
And they've pulled you outside of it.
Yes.
Now you believe that everything you need and everything you can do is outside of it.
No. Inside.
So take back a little bit. Take 10, 15, 20% of that you have outside of yourself and apply it to self. And I'm not even gonna lie. I learned this from, of course, who everyone seems to call the oppressor. Because at some point in the search for knowledge and the quest, you find out that the word oppressor and who the oppressor is pretty much in the eye of the beholder. You find that out as you get towards this. You just gotta eventually find out who is married to who and literally get to the last names of who betrayed who, and then you'll kind of know who you're looking at to what. But in the books, when you start to read like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or from a lot of these sloppers, they'll tell you, we get up and we go to work every day in hopes that we're feeding our children to do the best.
And that is a lie, because that's a curse.
It's a super lie, and it's a trick and a curse.
It's a curse.
Do you know that
work is a curse?
You invest more into yourself, into your children, if you put but 2 hours into yourself a day? Imagine if you put the entire 8 hours that you went to give someone else.
The green one.
That you went to give someone else. They've studied this and they know this. You don't even have to believe it. This is someone else took on the headache and the challenge to study this for you. You don't gotta believe it. Try it. It only takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds for the human body to try something, and I guess 7 days of repetitive thing for it to stick. That's also another study they're doing, but they've already studied it.
Yeah, and like 30 days is the habit.
And 30 days, right. So take I know some of us right now, we have no time. Oh my God, the world is against me, everything. And I used to be like that. I had no time. Between court, bills, and my mama, I had no time.
And personal time.
And personal time, the things that you want to do for yourself.
Yeah.
So, but when you force yourself, you literally have to force yourself. You got to literally say,
it's not in the nature.
F it,
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens, and do it. And do it. And that's the only way you're going to see anything.
Right.
But some of us be like, all right, I'm going to wait for this time. It's like double dutch. Wait, all right, I'm jumping now.
Yeah, true.
So, all right, hold on, not yet. We go,
Yeah.
what's today, Friday?
True.
All right, Saturday. I'm going to jump in Saturday around 8 because around that time I'm free. And then you got to just jump.
Time is just...
I used to do it too when the girls was doing the double disc squash. Be like, I don't know when, but this rope will hit me in the eye. But I know eventually I got to jump in here. And after the first 4 times, bam, and you get slapped in the rope, you know you jump in and you'll be like this, and you're doing your thing. But you gotta jump. You gotta take a step. You can't keep, because then we get afraid, and you go back into a dependency of another culture, of another person who really, unless that person is of your blood, or you know that person personally yourself, and you know that your well-being is what's on their mind, you're really in trouble. You're really in trouble unless you can know that who you're dealing with, your well-being is on their mind. And you can tell when someone cares for you because they'll start to care less for themselves to make sure you get by. That's when you gotta tell someone cares for you. So it's the fear. You gotta let go of the fear and try. And then to be secure, a lot of us have so-called friends and people around us who we trust or we think are friends who care about us, right? Invite them to be there with you if you're going to take the chance. If you're going to take the plunge and say, you know what? Instead of going to work all week and trying to get 60 hours, I'm going to put 10 of those 60 hours into myself. Hey, yo, you my friend, hold me down if I get fired. Hold me down for a day or two until I get another job. Or watch my back or cover for me, do my shit.
Sorry.
You got friends, call your friends.
Can I interject real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
And someone's gonna have
One of my European friends, when I first started waking up, me and my European friend Jared, we used to read a lot, etymology, because I just learned about it, so I was teaching him about it. So again, more is teaching Europeans.
Right.
We found out the word job meant lump, right? Now don't close all the way. Now how many people have heard our people say, I gotta go to my job.
Yeah.
And they come home, they got back pain.
Yeah.
All those lumps in their back.
Yeah, that's true. You get a knot right there in your back.
Yeah, the bottom.
Job, lump. That's the etymology, lump.
That's not Jamal's book, right?
Nah, this is
what book is it?
Webster's new college
Webster's
dictionary.
Oh, all right. We've heard of Webster. I'm sure we've all heard of Webster.
Job. Etymology right here. Lump.
Kicked it like several times.
So, job, Job.
A job. What happens when you get a job? You sweat? You get a lump. You get a lump, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you get a job, you get a lump, right?
And then when you go to your job, you get lumps in your back.
So Job and Job, same thing.
Same.
Wait, Job, I'm sorry, I'm missing
The story of Job in the Bible.
Right.
What
When
is
everything was taken from him, he was going through all that pain.
Oh,
And
okay.
suffer, yeah, everything was
Job.
Job.
They give you jobs.
They give you a bunch of pain.
You're suffering.
In the back.
pain and suffering.
Then when they send you to jail, what they have you doing?
Oh,
Prison industrial
my
complex.
God. I think I just got your connection.
They have you working?
Job. Job in the story was rich, wealthy,
Very.
right? And he had sheep and land and daughters and stuff.
Yes.
Allegedly, Lucifer went to God and said, I bet you I can make your people turn against you. And God said, all right, well, try my pupil Job. He's one of my best. And he said, you can do whatever you want to him, just don't touch his life. And Lucifer sick Job from head to toe.
Yeah.
And through the job, like, because Job had a lot of things going on, like farm, plantation,
his life,
his life,
his livelihood.
So Job sick all the way, being tested, right? Until, what's the connection I was trying to make? He was laid up sick until his wife came and told him to curse God and be done with it.
Yeah.
And never cursed God.
No,
And eventually, God gave him back everything tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
So they have us working constantly all these hours, and they set up the retirement thing at 65, thinking it'll all be worth it for at someday.
But
Someday
it's
a lie.
it's an illusion.
Joke.
It's a fiction.
It's an illusion.
Even your paycheck tells you work, but look at the paycheck. You're always complaining about the paycheck. So for those of the brother and sister who asked that question, that you want to emancipate yourself, thank you. Use the right word, emancipate. So it has to begin with your mental mind. Your mental institution has to be free. You cannot live under the umbrella of fear. That is where fear walks in. Fear paralyzes you. So you'll have to walk like a lioness or like a lion. You are walking with faith. You're walking with that
confidence.
Yes, and courage and determination. And if you are crying that your son or your daughter is the motive behind it, I'm telling you, as sure as the sun that rises in the east and sets in the west, Father will do everything and anything to make sure that your child is provided for. I'm telling you this because I'm living it. I'm living it. I told you I'm not sitting here because I want to prove nothing. No, my life is a testimony. I'm a living testimony of the Most High. I'm a nurse by profession. And the last time I went to work was, I don't know, okay? I can show you my phone. Every day, they tell me you're working Monday through Friday. I'm like, I'm good, because I'm like, okay, Saturday, I got class. When I go home, I'm tired. I don't want to do nothing. Sunday is family day, just in case I go visit my brother. I don't want to be that hassle. So Saturday, Sunday, I keep it open. Monday through Friday, I tell them I'm ready for work. If I tell you I go to work even one day, I'll be lying. I'll be lying. Don't ask me where I get the food from. Don't ask me where I get the money from. But let me tell you, before I got in tune with the Jehovah Jireh, that is Hebrew meaning Jehovah the provider. And just so you know, the Holy Scriptures, they were written in 2 languages, Hebrew and Aramaic. And you'll find that in the land of Tamure, okay? Aramaic, you'll find it in Ethiopia. And just so you know, in the Garden of Eden, there's one river that flows out of Garden of Eden, and it encompasses Ethiopia. And Ethiopia means the whole of Africa, not just that country. Right. So we got much to learn. We gotta tie all these laws. We're gonna all put them together, and we're gonna live right, because we are asked to be righteous beings. You cannot be doing dubious things. You cannot be walking in fear, and then you say that I'm a soldier, I'm a fighter. It doesn't work like that. You either have to, and that is
be it or not.
Yeah.
I
say you cannot be double-minded, because a double-minded is unsteady in all their ways.
And that's why some people feel as though we push them away. We're not doing nothing.
No.
If your energy doesn't match ours, naturally you'll be separate.
Right. You'll push, yeah, for real. So the Holy Scriptures and the Quran,
like certain oceans, when they meet, they're literally separate.
Yeah,
because they can't mix. They're literally separate.
True.
One ocean's not like, oh, you don't mess with me because I'm the Pacific and da 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 da. Nah, it just doesn't work. It's not meant to.
Yeah.
That's why I've said multiple times, I never kick anyone out of the temple. The energy removes them.
Because they're not under the light. You know, many are called, but few are chosen. Always remember that. Many are called, but few are chosen.
You're right. That's 100% right.
I've never said don't allow so-and-so to come. Never.
Yeah.
They just stop.
Yeah.
Because it's a divine movement, and it's seeking people who are righteous, you know? It's seeking people who are fighting for the truth. So if you're not covered with truth, if you're not seeking truth, because we all fall short of glory, so we are not perfect. So we all have our faults. But if you're seeking the path of righteousness, you're seeking the path of truth, anyone else who's seeking that, you attract each other. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, without a fail. Because that's the energy that created us. That's the vibration that was there from beginning. And it's about time we need to tap in. We need to stop this.
Stop jealousy.
Exactly. Envy, strife.
That shit.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And bashing your fellow brothers and sisters. I see this quote of, oh, if you don't go, you know, disrespecting a sister, you know, fix a crown, don't go advertising it. Same thing. That's
for the prophet himself to have to say that he wants us to learn to love. You gotta know that he knows something about us.
Yeah.
So
Even
we have to learn to love.
Yeshua himself, he said he came for peace and love and truth, and that's what he was preaching, and justice and freedom. That's what he preached. I'm telling you, in all the scriptures, if you can read, that's all is being emphasized.
You know, I tried to tell my mom one day that, because she's a Catholic, and I tried to explain to her, you know, Jesus was a rebel himself. He was rebelling against the Jews. No, he wasn't a rebel.
Can't tell him that.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't go saying that.
I know, but I'm like...
Yeah. But he was a rebel.
He was a rebel.
You want to add something?
No.
You had your hand up.
Yeah.
You don't want to say nothing? No.
Not even Islam?
No.
Salam alaikum, Rashid.
I don't say salam alaikum. I watch movies.
Really? So you're not going to offer peace to your mother?
No.
I'm telling you, because I blame his uncles, alright? They are us. That's what you guys see, y'all do rough.
Bro, you get me in trouble like that, I'm trying. You need to stop.
For real. Yeah, they
Uncle Jabir.
You stop playing.
He said stop blaming.
Oh, stop blaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said stop blaming Uncle Jabir.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah.
Stop it. I'm telling you.
Thank
my job. My son.
Any more questions on this live? You have any more?
I'm not blaming him. I won't blame him.
I think he said stop eating.
If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to take questions now.
Yes.
You started the new life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we all got the trick and trade. Were you there when I gave the trick and trade?
Yeah.
The trick
Yeah, I
and
was there
trade.
with the trick
Yeah.
and trade.
So everything.
What was the trade again?
But say it again so that way they, you know,
Yeah.
just in case they didn't see it last
Say
time.
the trick,
So
trap and trade, I like that.
Genesis chapter 3, right?
Right.
Okay. So the trick was Lucifer telling Eve that, oh, it's okay to eat the tree, you're not going to die, da da da. He twisted the words. Right?
Slaying the trap.
And then the trap.
Playing with the language.
Yes. Thank you very much. Oh, I got you. Moses. All
Word.
right. And then the trap came in.
That's how he can't. It's crazy to. I'm sorry to cut you.
No.
Because in this version, the New World Translation. So if you have the 1611 version, when Lucifer is having the conversation with Eve, the narrator used the word beguiled.
Yes,
When
even
you
in the
look up the
King
word
James
beguiled,
means to trick.
take the word.
Yeah.
So, I have here a question. The same.
Hold on, real fast. Just go over the trick, the trade, and the
Oh yeah, you're still going
and
over
then
the
ask the
trade.
question.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the trick. And then the trap was whatever Eve did. So now the trap is now we are paying the price with all these unnatural laws coming in, with all these stuff that
It does feel like a trap.
yeah, being a trap. Because remember, but you know what? All praises unto the Most High. Kings, priests, judges, rulers. Y'all change laws, right? Okay, a time is coming and y'all shall change laws.
And Noble Ali, with Act 1, gave all sheiks and grand sheiks the power to create and enforce law.
All right. So now the time is coming. We'll abolish all these wicked, corrupted laws, and we shall uphold the true laws. Okay? So now we are trapped in unnatural ways that we cannot come out. Anything you say, politically incorrect. Oh, you're this, oh, you're that. That's a trap. The trade.
Human trafficking.
Thank you. The trade. We gave that kingship. But now look at the house. The house is in shambles. We don't know if we are kings. We don't know if we are judges. We don't know if we are rulers. We don't know if we are emperors and empresses. We don't know who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Your mom is
We
here.
traded our blood.
Oh shit!
Excuse me?
Interruption.
Yes.
No, I'm mad at you. You didn't answer me back yesterday.
What are you talking about?
I texted you.
Which phone?
The new one.
Lying.
I'll show you. Hi.
Hello.
Felicia. Nice to meet you. Hi. Jambi. Yes.
You got my number. We was on.
Oh, that was you?
This is the Grand Sheik's mom,
I came here to say thank you to all
Jamal's
of y'all.
mom.
Well, thank you, because as a mother, and a lot of us have mothers, it wouldn't have been so easy if you weren't in the mental capacity you are. You didn't have the son you have, and I'm sure
That's Jamal's mom.
I'm sure he's like,
That's brother Jamal.
Oh.
I'm sure he's burdened you with all of that, what he's doing, but without your mind that night,
Mama.
moving forward would have been a lot harder. But you knew what to do. You didn't panic. Like what?
I didn't panic, but I really didn't know what to do.
Right, no, you
Y'all
didn't,
helped
but
me out.
you complied with us, whereas a lot of parents, just before, like how you didn't call us crazy before you said, okay, then let me help them.
Right.
That's what we're going through. A lot of parents and adults, even our own. So you would meet my mother, and she'll call me crazy, where you would say, well, you know, you should hear them out first.
Yeah.
That's, we need more of that to even put the footing on this, to solidify the footing, because without you, we have to honor you guys so that our days may be longer. So say, but it's hard with the friction we're having, where when things happen to us, our parents first attack us first, and before that we get to even see the judge, our parents is judging us.
No, I know Jamal. I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't nervous. I knew he wasn't worried.
Exactly.
I just needed to know where he was and that he was okay.
Exactly.
But I
now
knew
let
he
me
had
ask
it under
you.
control.
Let me ask you. Did you think for a second that your son committed something ill?
No, I knew he didn't.
A lot of parents
Would have thought.
we need that mentality.
No, I know my son.
A lot of parents think they know their children, but when you tell them, oh, your child's in police custody.
Right.
What did you do now? That's a lot of parents.
My mom.
Not what you said. I know my son.
No, I know my
I
son.
know my
When
son.
is Marcus Garvey's birthday?
On your mother's birthday. Yes. Your mother's birthday and Marcus Garvey's the same.
And you don't even know who Marcus Garvey is.
Still means something. You don't have to know it.
And guess how many months away her birthday is from mine? 9.
Wow.
When was I born, Mom?
April 17th.
On what day?
Good Friday.
After a full what?
After full moon. Yes. He went home Easter Sunday.
Today's on Sunday. I'm in church. Enforcing the Sunday.
I was going home.
No, I knew y'all knew what y'all was doing, and I didn't want to intervene and say, because I've dealt with the police before, and I know how they can trick you into saying things. And since I don't know law, I said I'll let them handle it, because I knew they knew what they was doing. I didn't want to mess it up, so that's why I didn't call. Because people kept saying, you didn't call. I'm not gonna call. Jamal's not gonna want me to call the police. I'm not gonna call the police. So that's why I waited. I let her handle it.
See that? That's a mother's love.
My mother knows which name I am and why I'm that.
Okay.
And she knows. She don't have to understand. She knows me. She made me.
And you trust
No
your son.
confusion.
You love and you trust your
I
son.
trust my son.
All right, some of your parents take note. Take note.
It's beautiful outside. Why do you have heat on?
Causes that what we don't have in a lot of our household causes the stagnancy.
Oh, but wait, hold on. For the record, if you touch my mother, I will fucking kill you. And I'm sorry.
Language. But we
No,
are
but
very
Mom,
proud.
your face is on camera, and I'm not playing. But yeah, I apologize. Because your son's here, I'm sorry.
Oh no, Brother John. I don't have that. Oh, have that fire, Baba. Have that fire. Have that fire.
Hey. Grow that.
Yes. And
So,
you know,
but-
sorry.
No.
In all true honesty, my son kept calling on his son. On Tuesday and Wednesday, he kept on telling me, we need to go to Brother Jamal. We need to go to Brother Jamal's house. Call Uncle Jabir. Call Uncle Jabir. We go to Brother Jamal's house.
Wow. This is the day
on
of.
Tuesday and Wednesday. Yes. On
Wednesday.
And those 2 days, I was
Yeah.
having the
The
feelings
funny
too,
feelings.
and I told you that because we ended up traveling Tuesday, and I told you afterwards, I was like, and then Wednesday the same thing.
I'm sorry, I interrupted your class.
No. Oh no, it's about you. It's about you. For real, it's about you.
So her class today, she was talking about, like, most of the time we talk a lot about jurisprudence and law stuff. John Bay studies all of the scriptures, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah. So she was just making the connection, because all of the holy books pretty much say the same thing before they were perverted by man.
Did you know she was coming?
No. And so yeah, that's the class she's given today. How pretty much all of these laws are in all of the books.
And I was gonna tell you, but I watched one of the YouTube videos. You said everything I was gonna tell you, that they're just provoking you. They want you to act out of character. So don't give it to them.
I know.
But I know you. You have daddy's demeanor, so you will just look at them like they're stupid. But when I see the video, I was like, he already knows. I don't gotta tell him. But that's what they want.
And I got lucky because my mother didn't force me to go to church or nothing like that. She always had an open mind, and that's why I have an open mind. And we talked about religion a lot, and my mother never forced me into anything. Even when I was younger, I never did anything. So she let me go outside all late because she knew I'm not dumb.
She nurtured you. She's a mother. She has a divine. She's been divine coronated to be a mother. You know what I mean? She's been divine coronated. She didn't go sign no contract. A judge sent that unto her. There you go. And your son. That's why she's been protected all that long, because you have a purpose in life. You had to go out, but now you're back home. You're home to clean up. This is your purpose. To awaken the minds that are sleeping. You know what I mean? And that is why your mother, because she was a bad mother, then you would have been a corrupt seed. But you know a seed by a fruit by its seed, or seed by its fruit, whatever it goes, they all go together, right? Look at the tree.
I know. I have my mother's hands. Look.
Yeah, and you did say it. You did say it.
Yeah, last week you said
yeah. Old lady hands.
Me too.
That's what he said. He's like, look at my feminine hands. That's my mom's hands.
Can't do nothing with these.
Oh, just so the crowd can see, Jamal's mother, and she's not European.
Yeah, apparently.
You know how many people think his mom's European? That's hilarious.
And I don't have a European grandson, thank you.
Oh yeah, Jamal's son.
Yeah, my son. Yeah, people have been saying I have a son and all that crap from European and da da da.
I seen him.
His name is Gunther.
So it's something, right? We're connecting the Holy Scriptures as the book of laws.
The law book.
And then what's so amazing, now judges seal it by bringing his mother here. His mom has never been to class, right?
No, she has.
I've been to the other one. No.
Yeah, not with you.
With me. Okay.
Can I just add something real fast?
Go ahead.
Because I remember talking to my mother about religion, and she brought up Jehovah's Witnesses, and how a certain person in my family kept trying to get her to convert to that. But in Jehovah's Witness, you can't celebrate man-made holidays.
Right.
So you can't celebrate your birthday.
No.
Well, you can celebrate
your wedding anniversary. It doesn't. Her reasoning didn't make sense to me. It just does not make sense.
You can't celebrate your birthday, but you can celebrate the wedding anniversary.
Thank you.
Look, common sense right there. That's where I get it.
That's what you hear.
My mother.
I'm finna head out.
My mother. So my mother is embodying all of that, which is how it got to me. Because if it wasn't for her with that mindset of, if you can't celebrate your birthday, why are you celebrating a wedding, which that is man-made?
Exactly.
Birth is not man-made.
No, it's not. It's divine.
It's not.
I
mean, there's the sperm and the egg. That's it. Other than that, you're not doing that.
No.
Right.
That almost has nothing to do with you. You're just holding it. You're just taking care of it. Other than that, it has nothing to do with you.
No.
You can't celebrate that, but you can celebrate a wedding. So my mom had common sense, which
to realize
came into me somehow through a miracle.
Thank Allah for that.
Immaculately. And now I'm here.
She's a woman. She's ingrained and entwined with wisdom, and wisdom is a woman. That's all.
Somewhere along the line, someone put a kink in the common sense holes. So
definitely.
If the later babies, they just missing out on the full.
Oh my God, it's scary.
It is. It's like
a bunch of
someone just said, you know what? That's enough common sense. Still in the common sense for it. That was like drip, drip, drip. where like common sense must have been a great thing. Now it's just scarce.
It is.
It's very scarce.
Because nobody thinks for themselves. That's why.
Thank you very much.
Nobody thinks for
creativity
themselves.
is no longer there.
Thanks
They're
to
just
the
dormant.
internet.
Yeah, waiting to be fed and
People
fed.
take the word common sense lightly, like, oh, common sense, and like it's a very, that word holds so much gravity because you see how scarce it is. And then when you actually use common sense, you see how much it protects you, helps you, and keeps you safe, and you make better decisions with common sense.
Right.
Instead of rocket science. It's splashes
Statistics.
Here, and statistically speaking.
I love statistics. I can't stand it. I cannot stand that.
Like
don't
someone
group me
can't just
into,
make that shit up.
Yeah, don't group me in that. I don't want to, you know. Yeah. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine. Like, you think your way, I think mine, and it's okay.
And what's it saying in the Quran? There shall be no compulsion in Islam. We can't even escape our culture. Look what's on her head, a turban. She can't even escape it. Look, jewels all over the place. We can't even escape it.
Can't.
And we think this is black culture, and it's not. It's Moorish. You just don't know it.
It's here.
Look, jewels.
I know, and that actually.
You wanna know what's crazy? When I was Bubba's size and age, and I couldn't even understand, my auntie showered me in jewels. So I used to go outside in rings and jewelry, and my mom's.
Remember my little picture I had a pinky ring?
My mom's looking at me, yelling at my aunt like, "What are you doing? He's going to school. He can't wear that." My aunt said to her, "Oh, you mean you can't go to school with them thing there? Friend, somebody try to touch you." And my aunt sending me to school with root and real jewelry too. Yeah. We fresh out of Jamaica. My aunt said, "Yeah, man, you look nice in school like this." And I'm there like decked down. I'm like, clean. I don't think I should go to school like this. And I'm trying to be like the other boys there. You know what I mean? Like, we about to go play tag and get rough. I'm gonna lose all of it, and then she's gonna beat me. So like, we're just gonna leave this home. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Covered us in jewels when we was young in Jamaica. That's all our parents do. Gold jewels. My mom pierced her ears. Yeah. When younger than brother, didn't even know what was going on. I know it hurt like hell. She was Jesus Christ.
I remember I
lined us up. My mom lined us up. Me, Lella, and the shot. Pierced our ears. We didn't even know what it was. Exactly. Gold earrings in it.
You know, and that's even in seriously, it's a tradition. Seriously, in the land of Tambourine. Yeah.
Now that I know all this, I went back to
now they've taken that and
my mom was doing
it. You know what I'm saying? They've defined everything. That
they made it a trend instead of a cultural.
Yeah, they don't even know why they're doing it.
They don't know why they're
just doing it.
They see that we do it uncognitively. They, like you said, they can't remove the culture from us, so they try to steer it now.
Yeah.
So now it's about Jordans and fashion and new rap.
That's why they're blinding us to that.
It's unconsciously within us.
Like all the gold teeth and all that. There's ancient Inca skulls with diamonds still in them. Diamonds, rubies in their teeth.
They were pulling the gold out of the wrist and the bones.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Do you know how
much?
Yeah,
they would steal their teeth.
They stolen them from like
we were already doing surgery and surgically implanting jewels in us already. Now you see them, the so-called Abians doing piercings and they put diamonds in their teeth. They found that from us. Been doing it. And
these so-called archaeologists, when they say, "Oh, an archaeologist went to Africa or the Middle East," they're going to dig out the gold, the sapphire, the diamond, the rubies. The people back in the day have been buried with them. Trust me, okay? Because they don't got nothing of theirs.
There's also an Inca skull with a surgical hole in the skull, which they admit they were doing brain surgery. Brain surgery
without the instruments that we have today.
Allegedly, because they got stones and they're making stones and shit like that, and they're doing brain surgery. How? Hell out of here. So we really fell from knowing who we are. Yeah. Which I tell people all the time. That's why I joined the military. I thought this was ours. I thought I was fighting for our people, and that's not what it is. I thought I was fighting for her.
Well, I told you that.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to listen.
Wait a minute, brother. We're being told.
So you warned him. So you warned him.
My mom's calling me.
So you warned him. Look at that.
I know. So, Mom, you want him, huh?
I told them they don't care. They don't care about you.
No, they don't.
They don't. But that recruiter filled his head with so much lies and so many promises.
Say it again one more time.
So many lies and so many promises.
What?
Boy, you got
so many lies and so many promises.
And none of it.
None of it.
None of it came
Till now, you haven't seen it.
None of it.
All right. And now, when you came back home after listening to mother, like the prodigal son, when your mind came back, and you went back to mother.
It took a long time to come back.
All right, and you went back
to. It may have seemed long to you, but that you got yourself together quick. More than.
Because I'm gonna cry.
More than most people.
Okay.
That shit. I was lost.
I know. I was
so
lost. I know.
And I know I caused so much pain in the family that I didn't know. I really didn't know.
I know.
And I just, afterwards I knew I was
Do you know how many people can't come back from that?
I know.
Do you know how strong your mind is because you fought through that and came back from that? That's all this.
I know.
All this. This lady at my job, her son's going through the exact same thing, and I told her, my son came back, he can do it. He just has to have the support and the mental capacity to, he's not going to do it. But I told her that. Yeah. But you have such a strong mind, to come back from that and be where you are right now.
A lot of them break and look for nets to jump over.
Exactly. They use that as a crutch. That
ability is what they envy. That is what makes us gods amongst men. When you hear that saying, that's what it is. How he was able to come back from that state where you have ones of them that don't even make it back. Right. They don't make it back. And, find them. And some of them make it back, but they don't make it back mentally. They're in the streets walking around. And you made it back. That's what makes you a God amongst men. What do you think made me come find you for? You think we run around and look for
I'm just Felicia's son, and that's all I got.
Know that the men that came to find you.
You are Felicia's son with a message. You are a minister. You're a king. You're a judge. You're a ruler. You're meant to put these laws, you're meant to open eyes to the people so they can know that they are on the wrong side.
My mother told me in Romans, in the Bible chapter, Romans 8, said they will restore the judges first.
Yep.
Here we are. Don't you have a gavel?
Yeah, I got. You inspired me to get one. You said, "Yo, look what I found." I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I found my gavel. I found my gavel in an office where I was going to pick up mail and pick up my check and just get like more work for my company. And in the mail room was a gavel on the ground.
You know what's interesting? In Doctor Strange, it says your artifact will find you.
Just on the ground. I walked in and my
artifact will find you.
Okay, so
Dr. Strange's cape found him.
I asked the guy, the owner of the office, and his son was like, who's this? I was like, this guy. He was like, we don't even know what that's doing here.
Okay.
Can I have it?
So they found the goggles, right? And me, they found me. And if I tell them where I found it, they will be like, not lying. So the last time we came to class, we took a trip to the house.
Oh my God, is that where you found it?
This is where
you found that book in the
I found the house on second floor.
Hey, the house we claimed.
Okay, all right, there you go.
I had a vision about that house.
I'm telling
you. I keep having visions about that house.
This book was on.
You know, I checked my birth chart and that house is mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Bible was
moving
right
into
here.
Your own property.
All the scriptures, second floor.
That's what I said to you too.
Second floor, and I kept praying. I was like, God, I hope they don't see.
There's nothing in the house.
Well, there was. What are you talking about? What do you mean there's nothing in that house? There's power in that house. Wow. There's power in that house. And I held it to myself. I said, I'm not even going to tell them. I will text them. I didn't tell them that.
I thought she got it from the crib.
Thank you very much.
She always.
All praises unto you, Father. All praises unto you, the Most High. I will not stop talking about it.
When they were burning books, that one Bible said, they ain't burning me, I'm hiding it.
It was
when we went in there, it felt like, yo, here comes something.
I'm probably not going to lie this one.
So you guys haven't seen this?
When we read it with the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Those times you guys were in the house, you guys want to tell me you didn't see this Bible? No.
I mean, we was all over the house. We were on the ceiling.
All right. So, brothers and sisters, it was on second floor of the house that brother.
Where was it sitting?
Okay, thank you very much. I love you very much. Thank you for that asking that question. No, it was in the kitchen. I think it's the kitchen. I think so. There's a cabinet on second floor. I think it's that room.
Only you can see that Bible.
And
I don't know, that house is amazing. You have to go see the house.
I seen it, brothers and sisters, and I say,
once we got 100 more in it.
Yeah, she can come when it's late. She needs to
once you get it up to par.
Let's get it organized. She needs some.
Let's get it up to par for a lady like that.
I mean, she knows she can come in with shambles, but I need to keep her there.
Is it Pawtucket?
It's right there.
You can see it from the house.
Beautiful.
Yes, very. It looks cathedral.
Yeah.
The stairs go up.
Yes, spiral stairs. So
Fireplace.
all those seconds,
I just seen when I was watching one of your YouTubes, when it ended, it clicked on another Moore story, a story about a Moore in Maryland. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name, but he claimed this beautiful mansion. But he
did it by himself. They're calling him a squatter.
Right.
Stuff like that.
But he stayed for a good minute before he gave it up and left. And I was thinking, why didn't he? I was thinking he must not have known the laws that you knew, because what he was saying, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. What he was saying, you know, probably made sense, but he was, I don't know the term I should use if it's the wrong term, but he was very ghetto with it. Like, he would be somebody that you wouldn't pay attention, nobody would pay attention to.
So if you could point that out, imagine what the people who he's supposed to get his message across to.
Exactly.
If you can point out the way he was telling, they're gonna drink.
Yeah.
No, Bujalli said speaking in an intelligent tone.
And the house was beautiful. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I always try to tell people, don't do it by yourself. Jamal didn't claim the house. We claimed the house for our people, so we can continue to do this. If I do it for myself, it's not gonna work.
So when we went to go inside and inspect and all the stuff, we all went together. There was at least 20 of us there.
Right.
So you can't be doing that alone ever.
No.
It's
a
right. Somebody learned their lesson.
Yeah, from the first time that he tried
acres of land that I claimed. I was walking home, right? Trying not to cry. I was like, I ain't crying in front of these motherfuckers. I'm gonna go home and cry.
Like a man.
Yeah, like a man.
In my mommy's arms.
I felt like I failed her.
The real man. You don't understand what this is.
So I'm walking home with this wheelbarrow and I'm like holding it in, so I'm running home. I go to the backyard because I'm like, I'm not gonna let my mom see me crying. I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? So I'm crying in the backyard. Near my garden, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm wiping my shit. All right, I'm going inside. As soon as I see my mom, I was like, Mom! I felt the ground.
Something about when you see your mother.
You just give in.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. As soon as my mom comes
Mom.
and your lip just start to vibrate. Mom, they did this to me. I'm crying.
It's because mothers, they have a covering. It's that covering, you know?
It's powers we don't understand because we're straight after idol gods, and now we have to find our way back without the breadcrumbs.
Yes, yes. Remember, you were given to us, but now we broke that, so now we have to work for it, you know? Yeah, so everything is a work in progress. So, as I said, when I called for help in my time of trouble, these three brothers came, Brother Jabir, Brother Akif, under your umbrella. So I'll say you three brothers. Yeah.
Uncle Jabir, Uncle Keith.
Yes.
Uncle Jabir, Uncle Chaji.
Uncle Chaji and Brother Jamal. Yes. And that beautiful soul that you guys just seen, he kept on crying, wanting to say he wants to see Brother Jamal. 2 days. And then on the second day, when that an eventful, unprecedented event happened, he was still like, no, Mom, we gotta go to Brother Jamal. He said, Mom, we gotta go to Brother Jamal. I say, Brother Jamal's house. Call Uncle Jabir. Call Uncle Jabir. Go to Brother Jamal's house. That's all he kept on saying, Tuesday and Wednesday. And while all that commotion is going on, me on the other hand, I'm reading about spiritual authority. I'm like, my brothers, they need to be honest, you know what I'm saying? So I need to have like a special class with the audience.
I'm gonna end this for now. Is that okay?
Please do.
Okay.
You end the phone too?
Yeah. Peace, Morris. Thank you for joining. Okay, I wanted to just give you something that someone just told me a minute ago, so I'm gonna end this. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, John Bay, for this beautiful class.
You're welcome.
And I'm pretty sure that they want to hear stuff like this more.
Yes.
And I would too. So thank you so much. Peace.
Salam. Salam.
Oh, that's me. Well, let me end it there, and I end it on the phone.